chambada, chan bada bada, chambada, chan bada bada, chambada, chan bada bada. That's the sound of clashing katanas. All start from katana. Iron's hand harvested from the riverbed, melted into carbon infused tamahagane, burning in the furnace for 3 days straight, then folded and hammered, repeated. Leave no impurity, sharpen with impunity. Cause if it ever touches your flesh, it peels on both sides of the edge, so clean it might heal. Let's put back together right away, unless you wanna bleed to the angle right ahead. Your wife and kid will wake up to a wrong type of morning. This sword is known to make orphans. No rope, just cub left in the wilderness. It's awful, but I wait for his bitterness to come and avenge for his father's death. Keep an eye on my father's threat. Chambada, chan bada bada, chambada, chan bada bada, chambada, chan bada bada. That's the sound of clashing katanas. Chambada, chan bada bada, chambada, chan bada bada, chambada, chan bada bada. That's the sound of clashing katanas. The wave pattern along the blazes of clay, heated and cooled to a hard martensite. Say, in a battle, if the sword would have snapped and twined. Bad news for your spine, that's why my build is far superior. The heart soft and flexible, but the skin tough and durable. The combination is a genius behind the fiercest forged weapon never known to man. Damn, but the one with the thumb on the handle must learn to stay calm and stand like a candle in a storm. Looming that's guaranteed to take many forms and attack from all angles. The shadow men coming at the woodwork, so adamant I don't get it like clockwork. There's no good or evil, only strong or feeble. If it both live, see you in the sequel. Chambada, chan bada bada, chambada, chan bada bada, chambada, chan bada bada. That's the sound of clashing katanas. Yeah, come get it if you wanna.
Cause I do the damn thing, so I guess the damn thing is getting done. I ain't popping champagne, this ain't a campaign. I ain't running, no, actually you should run. No comparing, clearly you can't hang. Such a damn shame, man, you ain't never won. Life ain't a fair game, I'm just an airplane flying through. Maybe you should see if you can get you one. I'm not you, I'm not the rapper to talk to. I don't care about your story or the shit that you walk through. All true, I'm not doing what you all do. I'm the crack in the floorboard that you fall through. Fall to the basement where the concrete caught you. Now the foundation of my frustration haunts you. You can run all you want to, clearly there ain't nothing here but these four walls, so what you gon' do? That was rhetorical. Check the rhetoric, graph, rapping historical. This is hysterical, got a map to the oracle. Kick down a door or two, hijack the track, and I kidnap the world for you. Just snap in store for me, get back, I forcefully push back, get this lyrical slap perform for you. Yes, graph just orphan you, I cannot father you. What you ought to do, suck a on the mic and all.
Haven't seen anybody in a minute, everybody thought it was finished, but I was busy getting done. Putting ducks in a row, man, you know how it goes. Careful where I put my nose, about to twist one. Clouds forming in the sky, pens and pencils about to rise, no lie, you can watch the flow eclipse, son. Not the largest, not the hardest, not the smartest, but when we talking targets, best believe I fucking miss none. Lyrics servant, you call it lyrical servant. Two people stuck in the feelings, and I'm just coming to hurt a few. With these pages I'm burning through all the new shit I learned to do. I'm about to buy a tower, fuck your office and corner views. Here to do what I want, I don't need your approval. And I like my privacy, so fuck Alexa and Google. I'm just trying to nail my point like fingertips at a bugle. And the whole team gets a plate, no more oodles and noodles. I've been working on my craft, and we're stuck up in the past. No more feeling like I'm trapped, yeah, it's time for me to make moves. Everyone has an agenda, January to December. It's a must you remember, can't f with fake dudes. Keep my head up in the clouds, yeah, I'm walking through the cloud. Pockets thinking from the loud, I'ma skate through. I'ma be me, all that I can be. Cause no matter what you do, somebody gonna hate you.
I came to do the damn thing, cause I do the damn thing. So I guess the damn thing is getting done. I ain't popping champagne, this ain't a campaign. I ain't running, no, actually, you should run. No comparing, clearly you can't hang. Such a damn shame, man, you ain't never won. Life ain't a fair game, I'm just an airplane flying through. Maybe you should see if you can get you one.
Yeah, I said it before, I said it again. Put it in the air, you're gonna get what you get. So put it in the air. This is a message from a lonely man. Ride for the Holy Lands, messing with a guy like me. I don't understand kindness for weakness. Never was the plan. A guinea in the city who got hands, a ladies' man. Sprayed up the block today, real street sweep away. My guns Bangkok, impact like Cassius Clay. Started out a stagehand, now making power plays. Kiss the skin untanned, waxed off castaway. Sounds of Sea Lance in Thailand. Smoke a J, showcase my skills with no delay. Take the camera, put it in my face, then back away. Let's go overseas, have a holiday. Females on display, bottles of Belvedere, Devala, Roy, Rosé. Doing it my way, success I parlay. Put it all on red, hit the highway. Stop staring at me sideways. This is my money, do or die, as a Cavarcier. Stop for this moment in time and get your hands up. Grind till the wheels fall off, get your bands up. If you ain't ready to rock, change your plans up. Stay in your lane, count your paper, watch it stack up. Stop for this moment in time and get your hands up. Grind till the wheels fall off, get your bands up. If you ain't ready to rock, change your plans up. Stay in your lane, count your paper, watch it stack up.
Yeah, we look at life from a different view. No doubt, far from few, filthy skyscraper types. Ish, Lance, come on. What up? Yo, whoever thought I'd be this gifted? Escape felonies, painting pictures. Hustling on the court, Mr. Painting Pritch. Play around the world cause I'm King Richard. Shoot on the spot cause I grew up different. Prophecy, language, money over sipping sake up in Bangkok. Sex on the beach, head of mountaintops. Nothing but fresh air, so we gotta smoke. Every move impeccable like dinner jokes. The lost poet, never like strangers. Bosses at my table, we eat dangerous. See Lance in the cut, yeah, we money makers. Leave all them crumbs for them haters. A gangster and a gentleman, no loose ends. Creme de la creme, ball above the rim, ball above the rim.
Stop for this moment in time and get your hands up. Grind till the wheels fall off, get your bands up. If you ain't ready to rock, change your plans up. Stay in your lane, count your paper, watch it stack up. Stop for this moment in time and get your hands up. Grind till the wheels fall off, get your bands up. If you ain't ready to rock, change your plans up. Stay in your lane, count your paper, watch it stack up.
Seven figures in my inbox, make it make sense, ho. 7 ahas in her body, make it make sense, ho. Tell far bags, go ahead, throw some sticks in them. Blinkies, they are scanning tails from the conscious. I hang out with dropouts, CEOs and cop-outs. I was not a novice to a thug, that was Green Street. Fair to say I chose up, small town, big dreams. Make it make sense, make it work, make it big league. Baby, don't trip, haven't seen the issue, I can't fix them off the wall. Cook your breakfast in my drawers. Can't find my purpose after working, I would smoke a tree. That was for my peace of mind, keep that shit between you and me. Grew up doing evil deeds, crashed out, down bad, put myself on D&D, and my ego DMT. Yeah. 7 figures in my inbox, make it make sense, ho. 7 ahas in her body, make it make sense, ho. I came up from public house and make it make sense, ho. Black, yellow, Puerto Rican, I'ma make a dent, ho. Young nigga politicking, I keep it professional, but anytime I link your bitch, the conversation sexual. Intermission, Mexico, she play with balls like X and O. When I'm on the wake up every day, another episode. Don't be a hater, cause she fucking on some new dick. She was fucking niggas that she ain't know I was cool with. That ain't make no sense to me, so niggas had to Google so I just got a new bitch. Now I ain't tripping, I'm checking these boxes. I run it up even when I be sleep. First 2 letters in my first name MattieC, so this colorful aura is way too unique. Calling my hoe and it's bon appetit. She be sucking and fucking the shit out of me. Picking calamari out of my teeth while I'm kicking my feet up, I'm in my own league. They putting cameras in front of my dome. They wanna know how I got so elite. I went and studied the grace of the grace, and I unlocked a way better version of me. Caught up in shit that you wouldn't believe, so I had to get right cause I'm scraping the cheese. Baby, it's hot, 200 ETs. None of these niggas is fucking with me. I know that everything come with a price, so I find me some bitches I know I could buy. I'm in some shit that came out of the sky, you still wouldn't get if you read in my mind. My brother got rich off whipping the pot. He don't know shit, but he know how to rob. Make it make sense, we don't make it that far, cause being a real nigga full-time job. 7 figures in my inbox, make it make sense, ho. 7 ahas in her body, make it make sense, ho. I came up from public house and make it make sense, ho. Black, yellow, Puerto Rican, I'ma make a dent, ho. Ayy, she get that leg in her eye, biting her lip while I'm rubbing her thigh. Ayy, she get that leg in her eye, biting her lip while I'm rubbing her thigh. Ayy, she get that leg in her eye, biting her lip while I'm rubbing her thigh. Ayy, she get that leg in her eye, biting her lip while I'm rubbing her thigh. Feeling that pair with that whoa-whoa, separate me from the clowns and the bozos. I look at Hollywood and I'm like, oh no partner, I gotta stay in the dojo partner. Whoa, 3 my oh-ho, see 1,000 yards while I'm taking these photos. I like when they love it, I love when they hate it, but it doesn't matter, they giving free promo, nigga.
As a youngin', accustomed to dysfunction, life similar to the girl interrupted. 2 in the dough, trying to make something from nothing. Get it to live, always the topic of discussion. Moves I've been making, no time to be wasting. Times that we living in, it's time to awaken. I get frustrated, I lose patience. Admitted at times I could be high maintenance. In the air they feel all attitude is a fragrance. Stay in your lane, these lames need home training. Fuck about a fake and the lies they claiming. As I remain playing my part in the game, making it to the top of the chain. Always put my heart in from the start like coca chips. My all in, all these voices, streets calling. Hard to acknowledge with booking street knowledge. Another day, another dollar. I don't really wanna hear about problems. Can't live with them, can't live without them. Doing what I gotta do to make it from the bottom. Another day, another dollar. I don't really wanna hear about problems. Can't live with them, can't live without them. Doing what I gotta do to make it from the bottom.
Can't live with them, can't live without them. The more money, the more problems.
How could one not be too cynical? Lord knows what I did for a cent or two. Non-stop with the icing on no interval. You be waiting, taking notes like a clinical. I grind to stay above the poverty line, now I'm the criminal. Crucify my name, yo, my story feels so biblical. Me and Infima, we gon' hit you with the visual. The N, the A, the N, the A, aka Nyla Freak. Think of physique, slicker than sleep. Think it's a dream the way that I leak. Always on point whenever I beam. All about cash like the acronym cream. Give me the beat, I'll treat it like a robbery. I'm tired of dishonesty, what happened to the real? Oh wait, don't do better than them. Oh wait, you can't do better than them.
Another day, another dollar. I don't really wanna hear about problems. Can't live with them, can't live without them. Doing what I gotta do to make it from the bottom. Another day, another dollar. I don't really wanna hear about problems. Can't live with them, can't live without them. Doing what I gotta do to make it from the bottom.
On this team, we fight for that itch. On this team, we tear ourselves and everyone else around us to pieces for that itch.
coming in at 320 kilobytes per second. It's time for Mattie C's Sports for you and me.
What the fuck is up? They ain't touching me for nothing. Gang shit is not my business. I ain't not the one to fuck with.
What's up, everybody? Mattie C. I'm here with one of the good people out here in the world, my man Shaun Shubert, and this man made a book. So, bro, I'm super excited for that, man. Once I heard about it, and I was like, man, like, this is some excellent news out of the fight world. So, what got you into this, man?
Well, Matt, thanks for having me on, first of all. And
Anytime.
it actually happened about a year ago when I came out of the fight game and entered retirement. I leaned into coaching full time and running my gym. And I had a really kind of narrow or short-sighted view of what my future was going to be, what it could have been, all the kind of happenings of what was going to be going on next. And I just figured keep working harder inside my gym, keep teaching classes and training guide, and just keep grinding and things will start working out. And I actually hired a couple of business coaches. They trained some very high level entrepreneurs, and they were really into this leadership role and coaching me as a CEO and trying to get me to switch my perspective to work on my business instead of in my business, to delegate, to hire, and to stop looking at things in a negative perspective and start looking at the growth of my business as opportunities for me to help other people provide for their friends, for their family. So the bigger my business grows and the more I step away and give these roles to other people, the more jobs that I create, the more actually my business will start to impact people. So I really started there, where I started letting some other people coach some of my classes. When I went to Thailand the first time, I had people take over some of my one-to-one clients for the first time, and things just started to grow from there. And since then, I was able to grow a team. I have a leadership team. I have a team of trainers, apprentices. I have an assistant that helps me do all kinds of organization of my calendar, messages, emails, and just really made a super cool little workflow for myself, which gave me the ability to buy back my time. Then I could spend it writing the book, gathering thoughts, getting the pieces together. The opportunity was really sparked because one of the people I was coaching saw my last fight, saw me put the gloves down in the middle of the cage, saw me after a walk-off performance give a speech to 2,000 plus people screaming at Cage Titans. And he says, my job wants to offer me a promotion because I made the biggest sale in the company. Yeah, man, congratulations. He says, well, they want me to give a speech though, and I'm really nervous about public speaking. I don't know if I want to do it. I said, what? We're going to give up all these kind of opportunities just because of one little fear about public speaking? He's like, well, that's kind of why you're my guy, right? Like, you can get undressed and take your clothes off, go in front of the people, fight somebody, have the mindset to be cool, calm, collected enough to give a speech afterwards. Obviously, you know how to prepare for this. So I sat back and thought about it. Yeah, maybe I do know how to do this. So he and I built a 10-week course for him. We got together once a week. He did his homework, checking in with his bosses, with all the people in his company, to try to build out a strategy of what they're looking for to optimize the performance. And then we just attacked him going out on stage for 3 minutes, the same as I would to coach a fighter, to go out there. And a lot of pre-fight mentality stuff went into his pre-speech mentality. A lot of the on-stage performance were a lot of the things that I coach fighters through to be in the ring, where they're mindful, but their mind has to be on the task. And it's hard to separate where your body's doing something, but your mind's thinking about another thing. So there's a little bit of that kind of thing. And then what happens after the speech? How do you break it down and start to grow and build from there and take the promotion and start to become this new person in this new leadership role, where you're going to have to speak and lead and have a group and all this kind of stuff. So I did the work. I had basically an outline for the book already, and my mentor, who recently moved to Florida, was home on a visit, and he said, "Is this just sitting here in your documents folder?" He said, "Write this book already. You have the whole thing built out." So again, with the buying back my time principle, I was able to delegate my gym to be running without me there. I was able to sit in this office and just type my heart out, do my research, read my books, study up on the cases and the principles that I wrote in the book, and gave me a lot clearer perspective, because I was able to separate myself from the day-to-day. It's again another principle from Ben Hardy, who wrote 10x better than 2x, who I reference in my book, because he talks about how high performers look at time differently. And that was really something that stuck out to me post fighting, post writing the book, something that's really stuck with me all the way through, that I'm still doing to kind of keep leveling up and keep growing the business and my personal brand and getting myself out there and really making my impact.
And man, that's absolutely amazing. And everybody who's on my show, I always say, is family, and you truly are yourself too. And what your accomplishment with the book is absolutely amazing to me. And that you just telling me a short little thing of, going into a situation where you were at Cage Titans and you were emotional during putting your gloves on. But you telling me, saying the speech and, coming back and reflecting on it, you did that in front of 2,000 people, where you publicly spoke for, I think you were probably 2 or 3 minutes or so. And that was amazing. And I unfortunately was not at that event that night, but amazing to see what that speech meant. And it still sends waves to this day. I know that for sure. And you
can still watch it back.
No, that's what I did. I was like, oh, I missed Shaun's fight. I got to see Shaun's fight. So with you telling me this, that's awesome, man.
Cool. Yeah.
For me, seeing that, it's something, now that you tell me this and how you're creating this book and, helping others, even though you already were, I consider you one of the most intelligent martial artists in this area. So for me to see this all coming into light and you making a book to help others is just amazing. And you're passing on, you know, not you having to be at Red Seal every single day. You're giving other people opportunities, and that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool to be able to see these guys who were recently just on the mat training with me. Now they're on the mat teaching for me, which is really cool. They're staying late, coming early, adopting the principles, asking me questions about methodology. They're getting better at public speaking and putting themselves out there and coming out of their own shells and figuring out what they want to get out of the world too, because they have this platform in the gym where they can be themselves, they can figure stuff out, they can grow confident by learning Muay Thai and then sharing what their knowledge is with others. They learn how to speak to people, they learn how to delegate, they learn so many team and leadership qualities just by coming up through the core skills, making it through the general population, and then into the apprenticeship program is where you start to really gain a lot of that value. But the whole thing's shrouded in this methodology where it's an upward funnel where we're trying to grow this thing from the grassroots where people can start to funnel their way to the top and then eventually make your dreams so big that other people's dreams fit inside of. And now I've got this group of people that they're training, they have a place to start and grow a business, they have the ability to lead and understand how teamwork starts to function all by themselves while they're in the gym doing what they love.
And that's a good point, Shaun, because it's like, you know, there's you, and then, you know, Chip down in Plymouth. You know, you were just recently with Connor Matthews, training with him for his fight, and you know, it's in this area. I feel like everybody treats everybody like family, and it's not like it's everybody has the common goal to rise to what they want to be. And it's amazing how you all just kind of stick together, and you know, it's like a big circle of just positivity, and whether win, lose, or draw, you guys are here to help each other out. That's what I like about MMA is the family atmosphere. Like, even you guys like talking to me, it helps me out a lot, because then I learn more about the sport. Where I was a boxing guy, now I talk MMA, and it's like it's just an awesome transition of combat sports being put together.
Yeah, they say that about this kind of part of the world, the Northeast part of the United States, for whatever reason, just breeds this kind of hustler, rise to the top type of mentality. That's why Boston and New York get these same type of looks that people get, you know, out in LA, where people actually move to try to make it, right? Where people that are just here in the Northeast, they're in New England, like, we just have that kind of natural hustle and bustle and kind of cream of the crop, rise to the top type of thing. And when you are local, you start to see the scene around here is extremely small, it's extremely tight, and I think people are really learning that teamwork is way more beneficial than trying to make it on your own or trying to do it without somebody or whatever. You know, there's enough shine to go around. You know, you got to share it. Yeah, that's the reality. And I think guys like Connor and Chip, they see that kind of stuff. You know, there's some other guys like Ibia Reese that's up in Team Link. He's another guy that's just for the homies. Joe Lozon, he's another guy down the street, just for the homies. You know, there's so many guys around here that they're just for the homies. Because again, there's so much when you get too focused internally, and then you start surrounding yourself with all the fighters, all the gymmers, gym owners, gym goers, whatever kind of gymmers you can think of. Um, you start thinking that it's a very small world, but in actuality, when you're on that inside cusp, the you're on the inside 1%. There's so much to go around. There's so many people that need Joe and Chip and myself. And there's plenty of people. There's plenty of people to go around, and quite frankly, none of us have enough room in our one little small space for all of them anyways, right? Like there's so many. It's less about, like, is it my guy or your guy? It's more about just how do we get us all in front of all these people, because there's so many people. There's so many kids, teens, adults, old people. I have a guy, I just posted him today. He's 80 years old, man. Like, still boxing. Every time I see him, why didn't I find you sooner? Why didn't I know you sooner? Well, dude, because I was, not born when you were 60, you were in Vietnam, bro. Like, I was not even thought of. So, like, but, it's just it's about how do we get in front of all these people, right? So that was another thing that the book was for me. How do I get in front of these people? How do I bridge the gap between the fighters, like I said earlier, and the business people? How do I make it seem like this guy's a fighter, but he's got a brain in his head? How do I make it similar to what the everyday Joe, the mom and pop business owner, the entrepreneur, the guys and girls trying to just provide for their families, working at a corporation, like that's what this book was about, was connecting the two worlds and letting people know, if you think getting in the ring or getting in the cage or fighting and bleeding and getting stitches in your face is scary, public speaking brings the same kind of nerves, no matter what you're doing, whether you're leading a group, whether you're getting ready to give a speech at your kid's birthday party or your friend's wedding, whether you're doing it in front of your entire company or you're given a business proposal. There's so many different avenues, and the brain and the body have no differentiator in it. There's no separation between real survival and what we drum up in our heads as fear, or whatever kind of thing triggers that. And that's why I really wrote the book, is to say, hey, everybody's getting nervous, and it's the same kind of nervous, and here's why, and here's how to combat it in a way that it starts to become your ally, where you start to say, hey, like, if these fear receptors are going off and it's triggering these type of chemical dumps in my body and these type of emotions in me, then I should be kicking in this part of my psychological training. I should be employing this part of my mental resilience training. And that's where it comes from, because now you're using the fear as a tool instead of letting it cripple you.
And that's exactly kind of like what got me started in podcasting, where I wasn't a type of person. I was kind of like the silent guy, where I would just blog, and I was like, you know what, this is boring. I can't, like, I'm not a typer, man. Like, I can't type for nothing. So like when I started, it was like during COVID. So I was reaching out to, you could say, oh yeah, the 4-time Stanley Cup champion, but I wasn't talking to that person like they were the Stanley Cup champion. It was like I was talking to you. And, I love these interviews way better because I'm more comfortable than like, holy crap, I need to like make sure this is like the best interview ever. Where this one is the best ones, because I'm calm, collected, talking like I'm talking to my brother or my friend, and you know, going into more like when I talked about my kind of story of my mental health stuff and going through, you know, medical things and going inpatient and stuff like that. Talking about the story instead of having the fear is what got me to feel more comfortable as the years went on. And I think people need to realize that, you know, if you do stuff like this, it can help you in a positive way. You just gotta kind of like how you do in your gym is you gotta just train yourself to think positive instead of always attacking the negative, because the negative can consume you sometimes.
Yeah, positive self-talk is a huge, huge thing. Another chapter in the book, because how you talk to yourself is what you actually start to believe. Again, your brain and your body, they're working together. So if you keep telling yourself something over and over and over again, you're just going to continually condition your self-conscious to feed on itself, right? So now you have low self-esteem because your self-conscious is constantly dwindling, right? And then that seeps into the subconscious mind where you're beating yourself up in your sleep. You know, you just wake up and every day is doom and gloom, and you know, so whatever you're doing, you should be consuming positivity. Whatever you're viewing, reading, looking at, who you're hanging out with, who you're talking to, what they're saying to you, what you're saying to yourself, because what you frequently see is what your frequency will be, right? Like all
Right,
the
exactly.
you're dumping into your brain. If you're dumping garbage down your throat and you're watching fucking veg out TV and you're listening to fucking headbanging hip hop, whatever is going on, like you're just, of course, everything around you is gonna be trash, dude. Right?
Right, and
what you frequency. That's it.
And it's kind of like an OCD mind frame where it's like, I know I'm gonna have a bad day. Oh, it's gonna be terrible today. Oh, well, you know, it's raining, so I should be negative, or, you know, stuff like that, where if you channel your mindset, like for me, like I tell people when I run that it's like my state of mind is just my meditation. It's my meditation to continually run. And, you know, I may have programs of how long I want to run, how less, but it's just that state of mentality that will make my day positive just by running and coming back and like, hey, you just ran 4 miles. Hey, you just ran 8. Doesn't matter.
When you run, do you listen to music?
I do.
What do you listen to? Usually like different stuff, or the same kind of playlist over and over again, like the same concept?
No, you know what? It depends on, you know, my day, but it's a consistent flow. So one day I could listen to Dysfunction by Stain. One day I could listen to Tool. One day I could listen to melodic hip hop, or just certain things like that. Because the only negative I have, Sean, with running is if I hear myself like breathing, like kind of like that, it's like I feel like I'm tired when I'm not, if that makes sense.
Of course.
So like music for me is like just relaxing me, and I don't even hear the words. I could play you the whole album, but I'm not listening to the album. I'm watching where I am. I'm visualizing the finish line somewhere. Or actually when I'm running in a race, like when I ran the Boston Half, I was running, but I was running like I was down the street. I was visualizing where I was. And, you know, again, I recommend running to anybody, and my mentality is, well, if it's snowing out, whatever, if I can get on the road and run, I can, because a treadmill can only do so much. It just spins and spins and spins, and it's such a tight space, but sometimes you need it. But, I recommend running to anybody all day.
Yeah, you can get a lot out of, I mean, just getting outside and going for a walk, going for a hike, there's a lot of unwinding your mind can do. I was interested in the music because I do both, and it depends a little bit on my mood, and it also depends on what state I'm looking to get into. What I mean by that is sometimes it's time for a long jog day and I'm already gassed up for whatever reason, and I might just hit the trail with no music, go get lost, trail run, do 7, 10, whatever miles, jog from my gym to the trails back and forth. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
And really get deep in the recesses of my brain where I'm able to do a lot of reflection, because if you want to grow, you need to give yourself time and space to be able to do it. And when you're constantly putting sounds, whether it's podcasts or music, into your ears and your brain's constantly doing, it's absorbing and it's working, and you need a little bit of time to detach and unplug and let it breathe. And without that, you start to really feel overwhelmed. It stresses the cortisol levels, and it builds a little bit of dysfunction in the fluidity, where you start to get kind of stale and stalled out a little bit. So going for the jogs, especially the long runs with no music, because it helps the reflection, it helps the mind unwind, it gives me time to think. And when I get caught up on something like breathing heavy, I'll play games with myself where I'll be reflective in the way that I'll say, oh, I'm recognizing that I'm breathing heavy like this, and next time when I go on my long jog, I'm gonna check my breathing again and get my breathing down. Or if I'm breathing heavy and I recognize that I'm breathing funny, I'll play games with myself to try to control breath, or try to lower my own heart rate while I'm staying at the same clip, while I'm staying continuous in my running. So that's something that I do with the no music. And then on the other hand, I asked you if you listen to the same songs over and over, if you have a set playlist, because
No, I like to change it up for sure. I mean, sometimes I'll go to the same album again, but for a run, that's the only time I switch a playlist. Like, if I know that this run is going to be 2.5 hours, I'm going to find a playlist that's probably 4. So I do make some up like that, but for the most part, I like to switch it up. But yeah, I mean, some people just have their own, different things, but I just I feel more comfortable with music, not to overpower my mind frame or thinking, but more to, it's one of those things that I gotta face. Like, there will be a time where I will run without music, but for now, it's kind of like just my thing with running.
Yeah, well, like I said, it depends for me on my mood, on my mindset. If I'm in a slump on run day, I'll put on music to go running. I always put on music when I'm in the gym. It's very rare that I'm going without music. Even on the run times where I'm talking about going with no music to unwind my mind and unplug a little bit and start to let my mind breathe, those are times that you need because you're constantly dumping so much into your brain. When I jog with music, when I work out with music, especially in fight camp mode or if I'm training for something, I'll do the same set of songs, the same playlist. It could be a random order, but it's typically the same set of songs on the
Okay.
playlist. And what it does is sets a trigger for me where something in the song made me add it to this fight camp playlist, whether it's a beat, a line, some kind of just energy the song has for me. And so I have these playlists pre-built out. So when it's time for me to do fan bike sprints, or when it's time for me to do 20 minutes no break on the bag, or when it's time for me to go to sparring day, or when it's time for me to do a 5 mile jog, I throw on one of these playlists that essentially triggers me and has these kind of subliminal messages for me to get myself into this particular state. And so, I'm sure you have a group of songs that really jazz you up. They resonate with you. They give you a ton of energy.
I'll definitely tell you that one song for sure.
Yeah, and there's probably a couple of them, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so if you put those all in a list, just put them all in a row, you'd be like, yeah, right? You're just gassed up the whole fucking time.
There's one in particular. So I learned this in just training one day because I run 5 days a week. So there was this one time I was like, oh, let me play like the Rocky IV soundtrack. I've heard it a million times, but it resonated later on where it's the song, it's called Hearts on Fire. It's the one where Rocky's training in the barn in Russia, in the fourth one. And just the beat where it leads up, and then like I visualize the part where he's freaking going crazy with the rope, and I'm just like, that just keeps me running till the end of the song. And the song's probably 3 or 4 minutes long. So when I hear that at mile 7, I'm rebooted again. I'm trying to get back to where I am. It's giving me juice, but it's like that one song that's like, you got to use that at a specific time that'll get you back going.
Right, but that's what I'm saying about having more than one of those songs, and then you make one of these power playlists where you put that playlist on, and every song is one of those bangers that's like Rocky IV over and over and over. It's just a different song, but it gives you the energy. That's the type of thing that I'm talking about when I write in this book about triggers, anchors. There's things that trigger you. There's a set of songs, and if you did and you become mindful and you stay in touch with yourself and you start to recognize what these things are, then you say, oh, that song's one that does it to me. Oh, so is that one. Oh, so is that one. Oh, so is that. And now you stack 10 of these songs, and now every time you put the playlist on, it's like you hit mile 7 and you got a nitrous boost and another one and another one and another.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you're compounding this stuff. Then you're powering through workouts. You're powering through whatever it is, because I set different triggers, different anchors, different playlists, different moods. I set it to all kinds of different activities. I set it to all kinds of different physical objects like my laptop or this bench that I'm sitting on or this room that I'm in, or a particular playlist with, this style of music for when I'm writing, and that style of music for when I'm working out, and this other style of music for when I'm going on a long run, or whatever these cases may be. And so the anchors, the triggers are super powerful. And then once you condition yourself, it actually leaks into your subconscious, and it's there forever, man. It's there until you do serious work to undo it.
And that's an excellent point, man. And that was a funny thing too, was when I first started out, like I did a 10K, I put, so there's rarely for me albums that you can constantly, I'll have to skip a song, but there's one album and it just is, it's Staying Dysfunction. The thing's like 40 minutes long. So I'm like, all right, if I can do a 10K around the time this album's ending and maybe loops into a couple more songs, that's good for me. And that's the power of music, man. Like, you know, like different, like you said, different playlists.
Right, you could do it with anything as long as you know how to condition yourself. And that's kind of the point of understanding these methods and methodologies and the psychology of how your body works and how you're able to integrate all the time, because your neural pathways are constantly changing. There's a thing called neuroplasticity where they've done studies on people's brains, and your brain has the ability to change the neural pathways, the way that people think of muscle memory. You're able to develop that well into your 80s, 90s, 100, until you're dead. Like, you're able to change your brain. Even if your physical body's jacked up, your brain can still be changing and growing and exercising all the way until you die.
Exactly. And that's the amazing thing about the mind, is like they can't take that away from you. It's yours, and you control what happens, you know, and that's the great thing. So going into this, Shaun, so now you're doing things where you were talking about on your, I believe it was your Instagram, about you going to Costa Rica. So what is it with that you're doing over there?
I wrote the book, and at the same time, I found a partner in Zurich, Switzerland. Her name is Leah Leone, and she is a clinical psychologist. She got her master's in Zurich. She and I decided that the book was very broad and connecting the business world to the fighters, but we wanted to develop something specifically for the fighters, specifically for their mentality, specifically pre-fight and during the fight. Things that they could do with their coaches, stuff that they could develop psychologically, like building a ritual, how to build in habits, how to get their team on the routine, and what things to trigger them, anchor them to become better performers in the ring. Same like how I did in the book for the speakers and business professionals. She recently moved to Costa Rica, and we decided, let's bring this video course live and bring it to the masses. Let's introduce this perfect blend of physical training and mental resilience with complete relaxation, and show everybody how to do this kind of more cryos type of mindset. There's two time frames that the ancient Greeks used to work in, where there was this chronos time. It's all chronological, and it's more this kind of hour to hour, very factory and school system type of mindset that here in the U.S. And then they have this Krayos type of mindset, where it's more like how athletes and high performers, celebrities, actors and actresses, they perform in these different scales of time where it's chunked out differently. Instead of it being hour to hour, it's done in these larger scales where they go into these three groups of producing something, practicing and ironing out all the bugs, then having the actual presentation of it, kind of releasing it, and then they go into these giant rest periods where they're able to unplug and rejuvenate, and then get back to a giant thing to produce. And because of this perspective on time and the ability to unplug, you're able to recover at a higher, faster rate where you can then actually produce more in your production periods. So people that are doing the hour to hour kind of Chronos type of workflow mindset, they're actually doing double the amount of work and getting half the amount of things produced. What we're looking to do at this retreat is show everybody that when you have the right kind of rituals built in for your morning routine, it gets you started in the day. You're able to produce 2 or 3 really large scale things and then take the rest of the day to unplug, and then how to kind of let that ripple out into days, into weeks, into months, into years, where I plan my whole year in advance and let that kind of effect ripple through the whole thing. Where I knew last year that I was going to go to Thailand in August, and I have spaces built in for all the important days, all the important times, all the big things that I'm doing, and then the little stuff falls into place, and I can see what stuff is big and important and what stuff is small and has the ability to be audibled or moved around. And that's why I can do things like Costa Rica, because we decided in December, hey, let's make it a real big blast off of 2025. Let's just start it and go there. Yeah, let's go. So if anybody watching your show is interested in coming to Costa Rica, just find me on Instagram and DM me trip. I'll give you all the details for Costa Rica. We can set up a call. We're going to the Lush Luna Lodge in Puerto Jiménez in Costa Rica. All the meals will be included. All of your accommodations will be included. All of the group excursions will be included, and there'll be Muay Thai and group sessions every day. We'll have breakfast and build morning routines. We'll do nighttime routines, have dinner every night, go out and do all kinds of exploring and just really connecting with how to get with a team, how to get social, how to get in touch with ourselves during solo activities, and how to just carry that kind of stuff into healthy habits that you can use for long-term success, that you can carry with you through the whole day. It will be good for fighters, it will be good for athletes, it will be good for CEOs, high-level entrepreneurs, but anybody that just wants to improve their life, improve the quality of their life. If you think that you're stuck at a dead-end job, or if you think that you need to have something change, but you like everything the way it is, you know, you're just feeling unfulfilled, or you're feeling like there's something more, like this is the kind of trip that you need.
Man, I tell you, that's excellent stuff, man. And the going back to what you said about, you know, the fighters' different schedule and routine, you know, you hit it right on the head where, you know, their schedule is a lot more different than ours. You know, they have, you know, today is, I'll use an example, Muay Thai, and then today is strengthening and conditioning, and then this day is this, and this day is that. And then the small things like, well, I got t-shirt sales I need to do for my upcoming fight, or, oh, I gotta take, I don't know, I'm just using, like, I gotta take the dog out at this time. Like, and they have a certain day where it's like, Sunday is my recovery day. It's just, because Sunday is just complete recovery. No nothing, just chilling and get my stuff back. And then they're rejuvenated to do it again. And I find that amazing. And this is from a couple of fighters. I mean, you know, the circle around, and, you know, they most of the time they all have the different kind of, they have their own different routines, but they have that kind of schedule. And it makes sense to me now, because considering me, it's like, you know, the 2 to 10 job 5 days a week, and then the weekend is kind of relaxation with the daughter and stuff like that.
Sure.
But I think that Costa Rica trip is just sounds amazing, dude. Like just all the amenities and the activities you have, and just to like unblend and clear your mind and just have a better like mindset going in, and then come out and have the best time out there. And it seems really cool, and I'm glad you met somebody that has the same philosophies and mentality as you.
Yeah, it's been a really cool experience working with Leah. I'm really fortunate to have met her. You should definitely think about coming out there, dude. You know, it'd be good for your podcast. It'd be good for the direction you want to take your life in. It's family friendly, so if you want to come out with the fam, that's cool too. I'm bringing my wife and my son out. My partner Leah, she has a 3-year-old daughter. We're gonna get our kids together. It's actually gonna be the first time that we've actually met in person. We've been working together for over a year and doing a lot of like FaceTime video calls, and built this whole online course. So we're really excited to just get our families together, hang on the beach, unplug, relax, and just share our knowledge with everybody. And the cool thing is that, like you were mentioning about, everybody has a routine, but it's everybody has a little bit of a different routine, and we're going to be sharing the building blocks instead of telling you specifically this technique, go do this thing when you go home. That's kind of for the birds. That's kind of like an opinion, right? We want to share blocks. We want to share the tools to help you build your own ritual, to help you build your own routine, to help give you the perspective switch of, oh, this is how this dilation of time works. This is how you speed time up or slow time down. This is kind of what Einstein's theory of relativity was, right? Where time is relative. And it's like, yeah, dude, because if you're sitting around bored, time's going to seem like so sluggish.
Right, yeah.
If you're out there producing, if you're killing it and crushing, like I just sat down and did editing, and I love editing my own content. I got a team of guys that do stuff for me, but I do a ton of it on my own because I just love it, dude. Like I've been in a band making music and recording videos and editing music and videos since I was in high school. I just love it, man. It's just a fun little, like, kind of unwinding thing for me. I sat there and I did content creation yesterday for like 5 hours. I didn't even get up from the seat, didn't blink an eye one time. I was like, the world passed me by. I was like, oh man, like I just got so much done. I feel so high energy. I got a ton of things accomplished. It only took a couple hours. And then the rest of the day, I didn't really have to do anything. And it freed up time for the rest of my week, because now I don't have to think about creating content. I don't have to think about what I'm going to post. I don't think about what I'm going to try to do to commercialize my business or sell my trip or get myself out there, get my brand in front of people. It's already done for me. I did it all in 5 hours, a week's worth of work, 5 hours. So you say like, oh dude, you sat there and burnt up 5 hours doing edits on your phone and making art. Wrong mindset.
Wrong. Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
Mindset, right? It's about flipping that perspective and thinking about like, oh wow, it only took me 5 hours to create a week's worth of content, where if one of those things pings and plugs and makes a hit, goes viral, or gets somebody new in front of me, or gets me a new customer, or makes me another transaction, like 5 hours well spent, dude. Like,
hell yeah.
I'll make more on one of those phone calls than people will make in 10 hours, you know? So like, that's the idea of it.
And that's the cool thing, man. Like I myself, like I love helping people who have helped me. That's been one of my philosophies is help those who help you. And, like making different promos for different fighters. Like my buddy is boxing February 22nd in Foxwoods, making his ticket sale banners and like all that stuff. Yeah, it took me a couple hours, but like it was worth it because I'm helping a friend out and I'm helping him try to get tickets. And the other thing too is I learned this. Somebody back in the day, an old timer who swore and just said all stupid things, but he said one good thing to me was you spend more time being lazy and not doing anything at work, and rather than doing something at work, your time is going to slow way down. So if you're productive and busy and on the move, by the end of the night, you're already done. You got an hour left, or you're done with work already.
Yep.
Then that's what people need to realize, that like it's better to keep yourself busy instead of trying to find ways to not look busy.
That's a lot of people's problems, and that's where they need to be showed how to live this way. Because if I showed you how to buy back your time and what to do with it, you'll flourish. But if I just gave you an extra 10 hours a week back, you'd have no clue what to do with it. You'd just be like scrolling or playing a video game or wasting your time. Like there's so many other things, right? Like,
right.
So you have to be taught how to change those perspectives. You have to be shown. Trust me, I knew I needed to do it, and I still didn't know how to do it. I had to be shown too, like even like I'm writing books and doing all this stuff, and I still had to go out and get a business coach and still had to be shown, all these different perspective switches, because you don't know until you know, and you don't know what you don't know until you know too, right? Like that's the
right.
first layer of learning, is like you don't know what you don't know yet. Oh shit, that's a lot. That's heavy. Like just go out there and start learning. Go out there and connect. Go out there and start doing stuff. Go out and get a coach for every area of your life. That's what I strongly believe. And that's what my business coaches taught me, is like, if you want to be a good singer, go get a singing coach. You want to be a good fighter, go get a fighting coach. You want to be a good swimmer, golfer, baseball player, pitcher, batter, you name it, dude. Go get a coach. Everybody has one. So what's everybody thinking that they can just do life without a coach, right? There's so many things in life that we get coaches for, and then everyone's just like, yeah, but I'll just work and pay my bills and start a business and save money. Like, you don't have a coach for that? Do you have a money coach? I have a guy that does all my finances. He coaches me through every single financial decision that I've made. Like where my money goes, what to invest in, like retirement, my family, my son, education, what can go back into my business. I don't know any of that stuff, dude. This guy has a degree from law school that says he can do tax law. That's the guy. That guy's on my team. Like,
yeah,
that's my guy. Like I don't know anything about that. This guy went to school as long as a doctor did to learn about tax law and get his, Series 7 so he could trade on Wall Street. Like, that's my guy.
Hell yeah.
I don't know anything. Hey, dude, this guy does, right? So that's the guy you get your advice from. That's the guy that tells you where to put your stuff. So it's the same thing about money. It's the same thing about life. It's the same thing about, what do I do when I buy my time back? What do I do when I have a successful business? How do I handle, working from this time dilation? How do I speed it up and slow it down? And what do I do when I have an abundance of it? Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to give to people. That's where this Costa Rica thing is going. I'm also doing that privately, online coaching. I'm helping all kind of fighters grow businesses. I'm helping them make their personal brand. I'm helping them gain authority online and how to do a social blueprint with their social media, how to do the right kind of daily habits to just be high performers, whether they want to be doing it as fighters, whether they want to be doing it as jobs or moms and dads, like whatever it is, like I'm just connecting with people on that level now, and I'm just sharing my ability to coach across more kind of environments than just in the gym and just in fighting. I'm doing more speaking engagements. I'm still doing the Muay Thai workshops and seminars, but I'm also doing what I'm calling the Iron Mind, and that's my kind of blueprint for mindset training. And all the Iron Mind stuff is more of a sit down kind of workshop where you're getting a workbook and it's immersive in those type of ways. And the other avenue would be to do the more of the Muay Thai integrating skill, but they're all psychologically based. They have a huge piece in psychology.
Dude, it blowing my mind. Since the last time I talked to you to now, man, you got a ton of good stuff going for you, my friend. And
because I had to find out what to do with my time after retirement, right? Like I had all this time that I essentially got back because I stopped training double time, and then I was able to buy back more time by hiring people in my business and bringing in these younger kids that are hungry and driven, and I taught them how to be private contractors and how to start their own businesses so they're able to grow inside of the gym. It gives them kind of the cushion and the platform to take the risk about starting your own business and doing something for yourself and being your own boss, but also having the security of, well, this gym's already been here for 15 years. Like, Shaun is not going anywhere, right? Like, I'm safe here. I'm safe to try and start a group, to try something and fail. It's okay if I do.
Well, excuse me, I'm also going to Costa Rica too, so I'm not just staying here at Red Seal, okay? So, bro, like, my last thing to you, Shaun, is Fighting Fear from the ring to the stage. Where can people find this? And, if they're local, can they see you and, things like that?
Super cool question. It's actually live on Amazon right now. If you go to your Amazon account and search out Fighting Fear from the ring to the stage, Fighting Fear, and then put my name in, Fighting Fear book, all the options. It comes up there.
We'll put a link up for that too, for sure.
But it's live on Amazon. You can get a copy shipped right to your house if you're farther away or you're international, or you're across the country, something like that, for sure. It's easy to get books to you that way. And I also do have a healthy stock of books sitting in my living room right now that I'd love to get into some people's hands. So I'm available if you want to come by the gym. Actually,
I'll be one of those healthy people, please.
Yeah. If you got some time tonight, Mattie, I got open sparring at the gym. I got Joe Gianetti's going to come down. He's actually grabbing his copy of the book. We're going to do some pads tonight and get a little work in. Yeah, man, a lot of these local guys have been super cool, helpful, supporting. But, if you want to come to the gym, if you want to get some work and pick up a book, that's cool. If you want to find some time where, we can meet up near you, lunch, that kind of thing. If anybody wants to get up, chill, take a picture, get their book signed, that kind of shit, I'm down for all that stuff. I love it.
Excellent. You're killing me, man. You got me on a work day.
Yeah,
but I will definitely be picking up a copy of this book. And this guy is a very intelligent person. He's been in the fight game since forever, and he welcomed me with open arms when I met him.
Buddy, 2013. The fellas were actually just watching. We just got some TVs put up in the gym. I just went digital with my announcement board and all kind of stuff. So these guys are going nutty in the gym, pulling up fights on YouTube, and anytime there's like some downtime, we're like checking out stuff online, obviously having fun. And these cats are like, "Hey, we just watched your MMA fight with Shane Doherty, blah blah blah." I say, "Yeah, well, I said that was my last one for Cage Titans. I did one more." "You did more?" I said, "Yeah, I did like 5 or 6 MMA fights." Like, what the hell? I said, some of them were before the not before video cameras, but before YouTube and before all these platforms were out. We found one of them where I got banged up. I got jacked up hard by this kid Corey Pickering from South Shore Sports Fighting. It was like, I don't know, it had to have been like 2011, 2012, 2013, something like that. But the video quality is terrible. It's all grainy. If you don't know what you're looking at, like, you can't even really tell it's me. But there it is, dude. So I've been man.
The flying forearm, man. I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
That's the legend Shaun Shubert shot right there. Should have been on ESPN. But again, also I want to say is you yourself are one of the reasons why Muay Thai has become ingrained into Massachusetts now. You're one of the reasons. I mean, there's a lot more Muay Thai fights at Cage Titans. There's a lot more Muay Thai, and of course, in Melrose, everywhere around here. And you're one of the contributing factors because of how Muay Thai is presented. And there were some bangers at Cage Titans the last time, man.
Yeah. I know.
And one of your fighters came in. What's his name? Got me on a blank.
I had a couple of kids that trained out of the gym. I've been having a lot of kids actually cross training too, which has been really fun. I've got a lot of MMA kids that have been coming in recently for striking to cross train because I have that little bit of history in MMA. I understand the striking for MMA, where some other guys that are Muay Thai centric, they get really hung up on some of the more traditional aspects of it and what can and can't be done, and if you're kind of tainting or jading up, ruining some of the Muay Thai stuff. So I just have found a little bit of more success and a little bit of a home with some of the MMA guys that have wanted to come and do some private striking, some of the clinch work, a lot of the stand-up sweeps and foot sweeps I have from the clinch in Muay Thai is a little bit different from what they are used to in MMA. So it tends to be a little bit deception for the MMA guy as some of the stand-up stuff. So it's been helpful to add to the MMA community too. And that's where doing work with Connor Matthews came from.
Connor and JoJo.
Yeah.
So, man, my final thing is, where can they follow you, Shaun? Where can everybody follow you at, social media-wise?
Social media-wise, I am the heaviest on my Instagram. Just Instagram handles my name at Shaun Shubert. The space between names is an underscore. And you can find me on Facebook. Again, I'm on there, a little bit less active, and I also have a LinkedIn account for the really professional business people.
Excellent.
Heck yeah, man.
Well, Shaun, dude, it's always a pleasure having you on here, and thank you for all the insight you gave me today, man. And I know people that are going to watch the show and think the same exact way, and people get this book. And if Shaun has stuff on his Instagrams or anything, it's very insightful, very knowledgeable. So check out his book, please, Amazon, or if you're around here in the Massachusetts area, or take a ride from Bear, Vermont, and drive down and get a book from Shaun.
Yeah, man. Hey, I would love to connect with anybody. Like, I'm so appreciative of anybody that's supporting me, business-wise, book, traveling, retreats, mindset, booking me for a workshop. Like, I just really am like so enjoying this new part of my career, and I really am loving connecting with guys like you, connecting with fans, connecting with people that are interested in the community, interested in the book. So if any of this stuff is resonating with you, with your fans, with anybody listening, please find me on social media. Please send me a DM, whether you want to come on the trip or whether you just want to holler at me, whether you want to pick up a book, just get to know me. Just let's connect. I'm into it.
Hell yeah. And everybody, again, this is Mattie C Sports, and this is my buddy Shaun Shubert, and we'll see you guys later.
Heck yeah, man.
Thanks for watching Mattie C Sports. Follow Mattie C Sports on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Also follow Matt Cameron 23 on X.
What the fuck is up? They ain't touching me for nothing. Gang shit is not my business. I ain't not the one to fuck with. I bring the flow, lyrical stamina, rapping a million miles. One point I'm an animal, then I'm a cannibal, taking my pick and I pounce.
Mattie C Sports is a code Sinista1.